Well, hello everyone. This is a special review of a vintage RC, the Nikko Flashback. This RC was a big part of my childhood. I had one. One of my friends down the street had the Nikko Raider, and we would chase each other around with these RCs all summer long. Had a great time with them, and a couple of years ago I was able to pick this one up on eBay, and it's been a great RC, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to look at, and it's a RC from a great time in RCs. I think the mid 90s. Great time for RCs. It was a heyday. RCs were fast, and it was really a different time. I think just a few years after this, for whatever reason, RCs started to get a little bit slower, and so but that was okay. My buddy and I switched to kit level RCs. But anyways, enough about us. Let's take a look at the RC here. This is a Nikko Flashback. It is a 9.6 volt battery pack installed here, and it's a Mabauchi, I believe it's a 380 motor in the back here, and you can see it's got the selectable gear switch on the back. So you got your low gear and your high gear. And interesting thing about these is these tires are pretty hard. So what that allows you to do is you can get a little squirrely with the back end. You can kind of fishtail it around, which is really cool because you know, it's a little low on power, but plenty fast for what it is. And having these tires on the back sure does make a lot of fun. And as you can see there, that wheel and that wheel are spinning different directions, so it does have that differential gear in there. It's got the monoshock in back to spring the rear suspension there. A lot of other Nikkos had this design as well. I had a Nikko Scorpion 2 that had this design, just the monoshock in back, and just a spring really. It's not oil filled or anything. So as you can see, pretty good movement back there, and sure does make for a springy ride. And then up front, as far as the suspension goes, same thing, springs up front. So that's that. Came with a 2-channel digital proportional radio. Anybody who has had one of these RCs remembers this radio. It's very unique. Had that Nikko sticker on the front. Very cool. This one still works. Everything still works. I think there were 6 bands, and my friend and I think had the same band one time, so we had to get a different crystal there. So back to the RC. It came with plastic clips, which got lost pretty easy. I managed to still have one though, surprisingly. So that's what those looked like. Now on this one, I actually had to replace the rear body mounts. They had broke, so I was able to find a kit. I think these are actually team associated body mounts, and I was able to mount them up, screw them into the chassis, and was able to mount the body on it without too much modification. Just had to drill a couple holes in back there. As you can see, this body is a little bit dusty. It's been a while since I've run this, unfortunately. But removable body, not something you see on this level of RCs very often. Very cool. Had a driver figure right there in the cockpit. His head didn't turn though, but who knows? Maybe I'll do that finally with this RC and kind of make it a project. We'll go ahead and put the body over there for now. So here is the chassis. There is your radio crystal. Up here is your servo. And then when you take this cover off, you've got pretty much a circuit board that controls everything else. It's kind of everything built into one. And surprisingly, on one of these models, I was able to take that out, rewire it, put new electronics in, and had a lot of fun. But I've kept this one just as stock as I possibly could. So that's the top of the chassis. Those are my new body mounts. Here's where the old ones were, right here, if you can see those. And that's about it. Not a whole lot to see there. When we flip it over to the bottom here, you can see this is the battery door right here. So that opens it. The door comes open just like that. And there you go. There's your battery pack right there. Should probably unplug that or charge it up here. 9.6 battery in those. I believe the Nikko batteries were red. So if you have a red 9.6 volt battery pack, it's probably came with it. And as you can see, if you're looking for wear and tear on these, A good spot to check is right here on the front bumper. We actually took ours off so they'd go faster. But anyways, you can see there's just a little bit of scratches there. Also, another great place, it's going to be kind of hard to see it, but right here, this is one of the bottom points of the chassis, right on the bottom of the gearbox there. So if it's got a lot of use, it's going to be really scraped up, scratched up. What am I trying to say? But I was pretty lucky with this one. Doesn't appear to have too many scratches. Probably most of those are for my use, actually. And yeah, that's it. So maybe we'll see if we can turn this thing on real quick here. See if it's got any juice. Which, no it doesn't. It's totally dead. But hey, we'll post another review pretty soon here. Before I wrap it up, I did have a trim function on this radio. So these, I don't know if how well you can see it with the light here. But you see those knobs right there that you can actually move them back and forth to trim it out. And then came with the stick radio. You can also trim the steering, which we did, and proportional steering. So instead of going just a little bit and having it go all the way, you can actually control a little bit, proportional, dial it in, dial it out, if you like. And then same with the throttle. It's not just full throttle. You can actually ease into it, or give it a little reverse juice there. Anyways, hope you liked the review. Really excited to have one of these and to post a video about it. And if you like the review, tell your friends, tell them to watch the videos, subscribe to the site, click on the ads, help support this, and who knows, maybe one of these days I'll be able to post another video, maybe of a Nikko Raider or some of the other interesting Nikkos that are out there. Tamiya gets a lot of the fame, and same with Kyosho, but Nikko and I think Radio Shack used a lot of the same models. They were really close in design to some of the pro kit quality RCs. Well, maybe we'll just say kit or hobby quality, hobby grade RCs. And they were really trying to compete with that at a lower price point. And they're really interesting RCs because, I don't think a lot of people realized what they were. Thought they were really mainly for kids, which they were. I was a kid at the time, but had a blast with it and thought, these things perform so much better than a lot of the RCs do today. So anyways, that's my little tangent on that. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and if you like the channel, subscribe and click on all the ads. Thanks a lot. See you later.